Hello and welcome to Safari Catch Up. This is a daily wrap of the best wildlife sightings over the last 24 hours.
Ollie, it's difficult to age an elephant by tusks. Obviously, if an elephant's got enormously big tusks, you can guess that they're quite old. But it is genetics. It's genetics. There are other ways of doing it with regards to, but there's guesses that can be had. And you need to have long-standing information. I was given information about ages of elephants, and then when I went to Amakhala, I had assumptions about ages of elephants there, and I was completely wrong, because they know the ages of all their elephants there, and I was very surprised at the size of some of the elephants that they say were 18 or something, or 20. I was like, wow, I can't believe that animal's that old, but they've got their birthday. So I did some work with endangered, who was it, with the Save the Elephants years ago. They were putting collars on elephants, and the elephant obviously would get darted. It's very hard to put a GPS collar on an elephant while it's awake. They don't really allow you to do that. And you could do teeth molds, because the teeth are the most accurate way of aging an elephant. Although it still only gives you within 2 years, because of the molars that they have. They get 6 sets of molars in their life, and they are erupting in the mouth at different stages of development. And if you do a mold, just like your dentist would do, you put a bit of fluoride paste on your teeth, and then you take it out. It gives you a perfect mold of the teeth structure, and then you can get the estimate of an elephant's age within about 2 years, depending on how those molars are currently sitting in the elephant's mouth.
We found ourselves in Eland. Another lone soldier out here where we can't see any others. I wonder if this is going to be the trend of the day, finding animals by themselves. As it isn't unheard of, it's not normal that we see this. It's possible, look, there's quite a bit of thicket behind this particular lady, and it's possible that she could be maybe just kind of dawdling a little bit. But female eland, no, there's someone else. I can hear them. The funny thing with eland is you can actually hear when they are walking. Because they have so much weight on them. With females, often weighing between that 500 to 650, maybe even 700 kilograms. They obviously tend to put a lot of pressure on their hooves. And when they put that pressure on their hooves, the hooves actually end up splitting. And then when they pick them up, they click together. So I've heard she was obviously feeding on that sweet thorn and not doing very much moving at all, except for the moving of her neck and her lips, of course her tongue. And I heard this kind of click, click. So someone is behind the bush on her left-hand side, walking around. Oh, she's feeding on a sweet thorn, which makes her a mixed feeder. A mixed feeder consists of a browser and a grazer at the same time.
Well, welcome back, everybody. We've been looking for one of these birds for a while, and the moon in the corner just gives a very nice ethereal sort of feel to this scene. A vulture on top of a dead tree. Now, it is the hooded vulture, and a very interesting bird, the hooded vulture. I don't often share scientific names because if they don't have deep meaning, I don't like to share them, but Necrocertes monachus is the scientific name, which basically derived from the Greek, meaning the monk-like corpse dragger. Necrocertes is the corpse dragger, and the monachus is a monk-like. So very much a monk-like looking bird, and they are very well associated with corpses. Obviously we do find other vultures associated with carcasses, but in my experience, when you find one of these guys and other birds of prey, generally there is definitely something happening. But we're not far from the river. There's a colony of white-backed vultures not far from where we are that seems to be chilling out in a tree every single day for the last few weeks. We haven't managed to find anything with them, but he hasn't been with them. If he was with them, I definitely would have walked in there and had a little scratch around. Oh my goodness. Well, those stalks at the back there. There is definitely something happening over here. Marabou stalk and some more vultures. So vultures go up into the sky into like a grid. They go into like a grid. They all space themselves out. They go up a kilometer or so into the sky, and then they all space themselves out like a very nice pattern. And as soon as they're like this, and as soon as one of them dips, this one moves in, this one moves in, and then as each one moves in, they all come. So every now and again you get an individual who might be inexperienced, and he might come down for the wrong reasons, and he can pull in vultures from kilometers away. 50, 60 kilometers away, vultures can pull in, because they're all observing their, what would you say, their chomi, Paul? Their chomi, their pals, left and right of them. And as soon as one of them break that grid, in they come. And once they're down, it's quite a challenge to get back up again.
Jumbo, good morning and welcome to Nkewa, and look at what we have, the sub-adults from the Black Rock Pride. My name is Tim, and behind camera we have Big James. It's an early morning where we come always to look for these lands, but today it's only about 3 minutes away from camp, and we just bump into these lands on the road. Looks like they're on a mission, and it's all of them. It's all of them. Some of them are running. And I'd really be keen to see where they're all going to. Seems like they're on a mission. And I had one calling, and that was a contact call. Probably they're looking for their mothers. I'll just follow, look. Trotting along. I like the way they run. Look at that cat run. It tells you that that's on a mission this morning. I don't know, but I'll keep on following them. Beautiful sunrise and beautiful on their coat and skin. Oh, that's running, trying to catch up with the rest of the pride.
And we're in amongst the flies, the maggots, and the dung beetles. If you're just joining us, everybody, apologies if this is a bit gory for you, but there is a dead animal here that has been well and truly eaten. No doubt by the Black Dam Pride. This is a giraffe, and this is what's left. We often talk about giraffe having a very long necks, and we wonder to ourselves, but how do they have such a long neck? Do they have many more bones than we do? But actually, they've got the same amounts of cervical vertebrae that we have. All that's happened is the vertebrae have just enlarged. So here's one vertebrae. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then there's a 7th one in there underneath the hide, which I moved just now, and there was a waterfall of maggots. So I'm not going to do that again, because that'll put all of you right off. So essentially, our vertebrae are just thinly packed little discs that move up, and we got a neck this long. But the giraffes, vertebra, their neck vertebra, have just elongated to the point which has allowed them to become head and shoulders above everybody else.
From that carcass there to where we've now come across Oloibor. Oloibor is one of the dominant males for the Black Rock Pride, and he's brother to Manuele. He was mating with one of the super lionesses last Saturday, and it's been going on, and seems like it's come to the end, because I can see the distance they're giving each other. I can see also that the lioness is on a hunting mode. So a mating pair have decided to rest, and look at them, they're flat. Seems like they're a little bit tired. 5 days is not a joke. And first of all, when it began, this lioness was mating with Manuele, and now it's swapped over into mating with his brother Oloibor. So in about 3.5 months, we'll be able to see some tiny little puffballs. So now our lions are still pursuing the buffaloes, and you can see the distance between that buffalo and the lion. The only thing that we can't see is where the lion is, but the lion is very close. So they spread out, the 7 of them. There is about 8 buffaloes around here, and these buffaloes are determined. I can see the way they're moving slowly. So a few weeks ago, I saw them on a buffalo carcass, and now that I'm determined that the ones that took down that buffalo. See the body language, see the body structure. So we can't really tell how many lions are here, but because I saw them moving here, there were 7, and little did I know them running. I thought they were watching or maybe catching up with their mothers, but look at what's happening. Look at the movement. Every step has to be precise, because anything that deters this buffalo will be a stick or any unusual sound. Eyes locked on the target. Being very social animals, they can put up a fight. Their mothers have trained them well, because this pride are specialized in taking down buffalo. So it was a learning curve for oh, look at that, the chase is on, the chase is on. Oh, the big male is there. Oh, look at that. They're coming to fight back again. Oh, I didn't know that the big male is there. Look at what's happening now. They're chasing it now. On the run. Catch up. The youngster has decided to move. Oh. Animal lover, I know. This is almost my eighth pursuit, watching these lions just going for buffaloes. I hope one day it will be a success. But it's nice watching that, because every moment we see how the lion behavior keeps on changing. From the first one to this one now, the approach has been different. So even lions know it. They have to approach with care, with caution.
She's following the scent of her cubs, because she lost touch of the cubs after that altercation, and that exactly what she's following. And the cubs have shown up finally. Very good news. Hi Mama, how nice. There was an altercation between 2 females. One was Kaleo, another female, I'm not sure who she was, and Kiongozi. Not sure what happens in the thickets. And I don't think it was something very good. I don't think there was any blood that was drawn. Catherine, what a day. Catherine, this, I think, they're just coming out to tell David goodbye. Catherine, I'm sure this will be my last day out here in the African wilderness, and Mufasa, excuse my big head, and they're just maybe doing a show for me and telling me, David, many thanks for the 3 months plus that we have been together. And I think Kaleo need to move away from these boys here, and that's exactly what she's doing, and telling the cubs, let's get out over here.
We finally caught up with our lions, and they've not given up. It seems like they're still on pursuit, they're still on the hunt for the buffaloes. So right now they've been cornered, and right now they're at the heart of the Makari stream. So they keep on being chased. And you can tell the buffaloes are still determined to push them away. But this is what happens. So when buffaloes put up a fight, one of them makes a tiny, small mistake, and then that's the end of game. So they're all surrounded. And right here at the heart of the Makari stream, we have about 7 sub-adults from the Black Rock Pride. You can see it's going off on the other side. So when we first saw them in the morning, I think the one that was cornered has been injured, and these lions are looking for that particular buffalo. I can hear a distress call, and one of them is also very... listen to that. One of the big bulls is not happy at all. Hear the snorting and the mowing. Wow, I thought it was end of game. Hammercock flying, trying to give away the lions. So the lion is just under that tree. On it, I would say in a month, I would see about 1 or 2, or maybe in a year, I'll see maybe 4 kills. So I've been here for almost a month and plus, but I've not been lucky to see a kill. I only see the aftermath. I've been following this pride for over a month now, and every time the closest I've got is today, where they jumped on that buffalo. It's always nice seeing these incidents, seeing this action happening here. But in 2020, when we were doing SafariLIVE, that was the time I saw the most kills of my guiding career. I saw about almost 20 kills. From the Ololo Pride and some of the prides around the Mara Triangle. But here, let's see if our lions will be lucky. They're not going to give up, and seems like the buffaloes are not in any way going away.
You never know. We all know buffaloes and lions are immortal enemies. Buffaloes don't like lions. Lions don't like buffaloes. And David loves lions, and David and Mufasa love Kaleo. You remember very well, I told you what my plans are after those toppies and the Grand Gazelle, were to try and catch up with Kaleo, because I remember where I left her. But apparently I have the best visuals now if I try to remember how I left in the morning. I mean, I had a visuals of about 3 out of 7 this particular morning. Not once I have said, for me, one of the most peaceful moments is when I see any wild animal suckling. To see this son of the T-boys, or is it a daughter, I'm not sure, suckling, it gives me lots of joy on my very last Mara live safari.
So the palm trees become a good source of food for these elephants during the dry season. We call it this the dry season because we haven't had any rain for the last about 2 weeks. So we're expecting some rains maybe next week. So how smart are they? Because they leave this oasis and then come back every few days. The root is nutritious, very sweet, and because it contains a lot of water, even the stem, and becomes a favorite spot. So by coming here, the matriarch is teaching the young ones on where to come for food, even though the food is scarce out there. Look at how dry that patch, that terrain is. So that calf is still learning. See, doesn't know how to use the trunk yet. Look at how he's shaking the trunk. So our elephants are slowly coming towards us, and look at that parade. Very, very nice. You can see the matriarch to the left there. He's the one who's taking care of everyone here and making sure that no one stays behind, especially the calves. You can tell those three, because looking at their mammary glands, the ones that are nursing. You can see how they're walking slowly just to make sure the calves don't struggle a lot. Seems like they've come from a long distance away by the look of it, because this morning, even yesterday, there were no elephants around here. So when you look at elephants here, they come across going to better feeding grounds, better feeding areas, and also where there is adequate water. And this stream does not run dry, and it tells you that this is one of the preferred spots. So these matriarchs have that history, they have that memory. So our server has certainly come to a stop, and looks like around that grassy patch there might be some rodents there. Just look at the reflex. It keeps on turning, twisting and turning, and the ears working like antenna, listening to all angles, all corners. They have that ability to hear even the rodents underground, because rodents will dig tunnels underground. They can be able to hear that when they're walking. Super cute. One of those cats that always get excited when I find them out here in the savannah. Look at how it blends in. So I'm always very excited when I see Savo. They have long legs, specially adapted for jumping. They have that sweep jump. So when birds are flying, especially the birds that nest on the ground, terrestrial birds, when they fly off, so Savos, with the help of their long legs, they are able to jump and catch birds in flights. No wonder we don't get to see Savo. Look at that particular spot.
Oh, we found a young lioness, everybody. She's got a few holes in her around her tail. There's a hole right there in the base of her tail. It looks pretty painful. We saw her as well. She's got an injury on her foot. Lots of activity happening with the lions. Well, we tracked and we found. We're happy. We haven't found the buffalo. They've gone off a little bit more to the left. But we'll see if we can pick up on them. There's more lions in the area, we're certain. But the pride is fragmented. A few times we found small groups together. The tracks we were following from this morning were definitely of more than 5 individuals. It becomes difficult to tell once they get the tracks when there's more than 4. Hard to say if it's 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9. Glad to see the flies are bothering her as much as they are us. Imposa. Amy, some black dam pride time. Might be this individual responsible for that vomit. Not far from where we found that fur ball. Found a few individual tracks on the way. Saw where the buffalo crossed. Found where lions had been lying down, and we've got the one. So we'll probably find some more around here if we scratch around, and maybe they'll be hunting the buffalo.
Now, like I said, elephants, their teeth, they move from the front, and they have 6 sets. But rhinos only have 2 sets of teeth in their lifetime. But it's rather interesting. They do not have any front teeth on their upper or lower jaw bones. That's why you see when they're feeding, they majority of the time using their lips to rip that grass off. They have 12 teeth in total, and they will have 3 premolars and 3 molars on each side of the jaw. So they'll kind of be evenly distributed. So 3 molars one side, 3 molars the other side, and they are also somewhat serrated in a sense.
Now, I have been searching for the toppy boys, for my T-boys rather, nothing doing. What I've seen instead are elephants, and these elephants are in the Bila Shakalaga, where those boys are still glued in. Not sure why they do not want to come out. But I was imagining if they're anywhere near here, because this is the last I saw Kyungos this morning. Once in a while we have seen the elephants, pushing the elephants, or rather the lions, from where they are, bedding, and that has not happened. But still very convinced they are in here somewhere, and hopefully they are going to come out. I really, really need these T-boys to say goodbye to me. Or rather, I need to say goodbye to them.
I bet David should come to this side to see our Black Rock youngsters. So these are the youngsters that missed out on a hunt this morning, and he was the one that tried to swing on that buffalo, and in the background I can see the rest. So in total the sub-adults from the Black Rock Pride are 7 in number, and I can see in the background, I can see more. While some are laying flat, there's one that is up just watching us. So this particular spot is where we normally see buffaloes during the day and in the morning. And this is the oasis. This is what I was talking about earlier in the morning, where the buffaloes will come from mud wallow, where they'll come for the fresh grass here, very soft because there's plenty of water, and also back.
That's it for this episode of Safari Catch Up. We hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you on Safari.